This is Gardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. We're here at the HQ in League City. I have a guest hanging out, and I want to give a special shout out to Hardstyle Unlimited, sponsoring, making this podcast happen today. Hey, how's it going?
Great. Thank you for the invite, Clear Life Combat Media. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so someone hasn't met you. What's your name? And then let's get into everything that you got going on.
Yep. My name is David T. Nguyen. I'm the owner and founder of Temple Construction Movement. I live my life the best way that I can, anti-aging lifestyle. Without building my temple, I want to be here building, fighting and training and trying to live my best life. That's what it is. And here with some good people. Thanks to Max at Hardstyle setting this up. And I got a Submission Hunter Pro match coming up with Eric Garcia. Thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, here just want to chat it up and talk to you guys.
Yeah. So I think that you fought MMA too.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu, MMA, bodybuilding,
Yeah.
working out, just that, like you said, an anti-aging lifestyle. I guess, tell me what does that mean to you?
For me, well, first, I wasn't always like this. You know, growing up in Houston, being a minority of minorities, I would say, you know, being Vietnamese American and growing up here, firstborn generation, having a family, my mom and dad, sisters, you know, and just not having a lot of good opportunities growing up. So I always loved sports, and I transitioned to being active a lot. Then, you know, you're growing up, getting a little bit of trouble in the streets of Houston. But after a while, you know, I gave my life to Christ, turned around, and through that, I found bodybuilding was my way. You know what I'm saying? So by developing that first foundation in my life, I was able to find out that this is what makes me happy. It makes me feel good. I eliminate a lot of toxins, bad habits. And through that progression, I found it was my purpose, you know, and now years later, decades later, staying consistent with this lifestyle, I'm able to build a temple for my spirit, what gives me the ability and the focus and the human performance to still go out there in my 40s, feeling like I'm in my 20s.
Yeah, and not only just go out there, but put yourself on the line, compete, you know, at a very high level, right?
Definitely. I'm blessed to train with some of the best combat athletes around, from starting out with just jiu-jitsu, grappling, all the way to mixed martial arts, learning from some great legends of the game. First MMA was with Coach Saul at Metro Fight Club. Working with Jacob Silva, learning under Jacob Silva as well. He's one of my original guys, Mike Trin. That he was back in the days too. He's one of my mentors back in the game, but a brother of mine too. So just being around that and learning and just starting, like just start. You know what I'm saying? Like just start, but at the same time, like take care of yourself. And that's what Temple Construction is about. So before I was able to cross over to martial arts, which has always been a dream as a kid, I was always working out. I was training. You know what I'm saying? I was doing bodybuilding style. Then I transitioned to strength training, circuit training, and then more conditioning work, cardio. You know, it just transitioned throughout my growth, because temple construction is like, we're all spirits. We live in a body, which is our temple, created for construction, not destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So let's build a temple for your spirit, temple construction.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that comes to mind when I hear bodybuilding is you got to be very dedicated, maybe a little crazy, because it's not easy. It's like, oh, let me just get into bodybuilding. Like it's your life, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely good. I mean, like once you're committed, like I treated it, the new art, my new lifestyle, as a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It was my way. And before, I didn't realize that it was more spiritual too. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was starting, I was just more ego, a little bit more like a tough guy, a little bit. You start off, but you feel good. You know, I had, you know, looked up to guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, Hulk Hogan, you know, Randy Macho Man, Goldberg, all those guys that you looked up to growing up as a kid. Rambo, Rocky, you know. So all those guys I looked up to, you know what I'm saying? You want that physique because, you know, that's masculine. That's alpha. That's like, you know, I'm a man, right? And we all want that. We all desire that. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? We all desire walking around with muscles, right? Feeling good and confident. But it became more than that, because spiritually it kept me grounded. I said no to certain drugs. You know, I said no to alcohol. I said no to things like that. So that's just like choosing my lifestyle better, you know, eliminating toxins out of my life, stop, you know, fast foods and stuff. Kind of just learning on my own. And yeah, just live, eat, sleep, and repeat.
Mm-hmm. Where's the gym located, and who is it for? Because you train some of the top athletes in the game. I mean, is it for everybody?
Definitely great. Yeah, it's definitely community based, and it's for any level. You know, so we train, we help single moms that never worked out before transform their energy, their health, their confidence. We help couples that come in with challenges of getting pregnant, getting healthy, you know, having issues with the relationship, and just found out that the more you worked on yourself and got healthy, got happier, and built that confidence, you know what I'm saying? it opened up more for them, and it's everything's inside out. So it's able to help couples get pregnant and have a baby, start a family. They're all the way up to professional athletes, all the way up to amateur MMA fighters or professional fighters that start with us, and then now they're number one in the world flyweight champions, you know what I'm saying, the UFC. But not only that, regional people too, like the upcoming fighters, the amateurs that are learning how important strength conditioning is as a combat athlete. You know what I'm saying? Because it's imperative. I mean, this is your weapon. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Lee said it's your every part of your body. This is your weapon. This is what you're using for combat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like a bodybuilder going out there, because that can impact your fluid, your style, of course, your art, and your striking, whatnot. But when you combine it properly together with the right exercise, the right system, the cardio conditioning, working the different energy systems and the power, explosiveness, and all the abilities, agility, flexibility, mobility, you know what I'm saying, things like that, agility, you know, mix all that up, and then you have the right foundation training for a combat athlete sport, and it also transitions to a human performance.
Mm-hmm. I have a friend who he likes to work out, and so he'll post some progress stuff on his social media. And so he was like, you know, showing off his back, took off his shirt, and his shoulders were looking like capped out, like all this stuff. And I was like, this dude looks like he's having a hard time taking his shirt off. I think he was putting on a little bit for the camera, but I mean, you wouldn't want that if you are trying to go out there and fight. You got to be able to be a little bit flexible. So
Totally.
it's a whole different, I guess, approach of like, I'm looking for size versus that optimal performance. My body's a weapon.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. See, that's a different, and that's what bodybuilding did. So before, when I started doing jiu-jitsu, 2016, I think it was, I was over at Zion MMA. Mike Trent told me about it. Rashad was there. Malik, he was a big inspiration. One of my first coaches too. I mean, when I first started, I was already athletic and had the physique because I was already bodybuilding, strength training. So I had a different type of physique starting, you know what I'm saying? So I had a slight advantage on some of the experienced practitioners, but didn't have the strength, the conditioning, the power, the explosiveness, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit extra advantage. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they were more experienced, so they'll catch me in the arm bar. I'm a beginner, but there's times where even though at my beginner level, I was able to have more defense and more confidence and more discipline in getting out of situations, and then being able to fight into situations or getting out of submission attempts, you know. And then as you learn the technique, you can apply, you know, Kimuras and the rear naked chokes or guillotines and things like that. So people thought I was on steroids. I was on drugs. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, he's got on something. Oh, he's done this before. He just gives you that little slight advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I've locked up with someone like in grappling, and you feel them, and you're like, dude, this dude's strong.
Right.
Like, they're strong. And I've never felt like that was me. Like, I'm the strong guy, like in a thing. And mine's more like technique or jiu-jitsu, or, as you know, I'm kind of flexible for like my weight class and stuff like that. And so I use that to my advantage. But here recently, me and Kurt, one of the other owners here at Clear Life, started like just going to the gym. I'm like, man, he wanted to go. I'm like, I should never say no if there's an opportunity to better myself. And plus, you know, whenever you're doing something with somebody else, it's just easier to go like, hey, I'll meet you there. You know, that accountability, right?
There you go.
And so I was like, man, maybe I'll get a little bit of strength that'll help me in there, because maybe one day I could eventually be like the strong guy.
Right.
That, you know, you lock and be like, oh, this dude's strong, I'm pulling guard, or whatever it is, right?
Good. No, exactly your point. I'm just thinking about, you know, you train, and you know, sometimes you want to lock in that rear naked choke or that guillotine, but if you fatigue and then he gets out of it, defend, and you're done, he can literally just go on top of you, set up a submission, just because you got tired out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or what if someone had you on a certain submission, but your extra strength condition, your discipline just gets you out of it, gives you the extra 2 seconds to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just how you train. And so because I experienced the training, the fight camps, and training with a lot of high-level people, and then my background and data, you know, just trying it on my members, trying it on my athletes, seeing what works, transitioning, doing it myself. You know what I'm saying? I also experienced going out there, continual education, you know what I'm saying? Following certain people on social media if I had to. Phil Darude, he was one of my first MMA strength conditioning coaches I got a program from and learned from. But a lot of it's just application, execution. You know what I'm saying? If it works for you, and obviously it works, you know what I'm saying? You can create a system out of it, and then you apply it to someone, and they consistently do it, and it works, and it works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You may have to tweak based on background, experience, and things like that. But what I mentioned before, this is like the foundation. Like, God made our body so amazing. You know, we have to honor it. You know what I'm saying? Our body is a temple for the Holy Spirit. you know. And the scripture God gave me is 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. You know, our body is a temple for the Holy Spirit, you know, and we have to honor our body for God, for the Holy Spirit. He's going to work through this. He sacrifices life for us. And the best we can do is just give it, you know what I'm saying? And I never thought like that. You know, of course, I raised in sin and negativity. But, you know, after a while, you kind of transition and understand that. You know, you try to take care of it more. And I think it truly is the wealth of life. You know, now I can help my family, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews kind of carry that tradition to fight. Because my dad died from stage 4 liver cancer. So my dad lived a life and sacrificed a life that I didn't want to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was a Vietnam vet. He served in the Vietnam War, refugee. He fought on the front line of Vietnam. So he gave me that military kind of background discipline growing up. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, he got transitioned to alcohol, been an alcoholic and things like that. Drugs hit him. You know, and I can only imagine me maturing as a young man, understand how life can be rough. And he had 5 kids. Being Vietnamese, you know, not speaking very good English, and being an entrepreneur, creating one of the first Vietnamese restaurants in Houston in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. It is not, you know, and the prejudice, you know, and like being the first generation of Vietnamese in Houston. So yeah, and now I can understand why he needed to have a beer after work now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As adults, we understand why. But what I found God gave me was building a temple. It helps relieve that depression, that anxiety.
I think like combat sports, working out, that can take that place, right?
There you go. Exactly what it is. Yeah. Anytime you're contracting your muscles, your body, you're getting your heart rate to a certain level, releases those happy chemicals, you know, it's releasing the stress, you know, that anxiety, you're present at that moment. And at the end of the workout, if it's a good workout, you feel better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what TC offers. You're in there for 1 hour, you're focused, you're present, structured workout. I guarantee results if you guarantee to do the work.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, you mentioned a good workout because not every workout is a good workout. Sometimes you get in there and you're like, oh, man, I got to get through this, or it's a crappy workout. But I guess that helps build that discipline, though. Would you agree? And I guess how important is that? Even if it's not the best workout, you realize, hey, at least I got it done. I mean, there's a positive that you can get out of it, right?
Absolutely. And that's what's tough, bro. Like, I have nothing against commercial gyms. I love it. I was there all the time in my beginning phases of training because that's all I can. At the time, my investment was what, $80 at 24 hour. I can go to any 24 hour, $50, whatever it was. Yeah, I took advantage of that. And I was self-disciplined to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was my passion, you know, and I had no other option to do it on my time. Especially as an entrepreneur, you have this time and you want to make it useful, right? So the thing is, like, when people go to the gym, I get a lot of my members that come to me. Yeah, I got a membership here and there. Oh, we just get on the machine. Oh, we can't work out. And I put them to an actual structured training program. They're like, wow. And then in 30, 60, 90 days, they transform into this new human being. When 3, 4, 5 years, they try to work out on their own when they're actually training towards their goal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. That's why my members get results. That's why my athletes get results.
Yeah.
It's a structured program. Like, don't worry. Today is pecs and lats. This for the whole month of October. I got you. Just your discipline is committing. Book that session, commit to come. Because once you arrive, we take care of the rest. You
know, and I guess even like a combat sport, if I was like, I want to learn jiu-jitsu, and I just walked into a gym, they can have all the equipment, the mats, like there's some material I could do, and I'm kind of trying to put it together myself. You know, I could do that for forever versus training with somebody who knows something. They're showing you hey, you're doing that incorrectly. This is the easier way that's going to actually work, and you'll get a result going against somebody. I guess it's the same thing.
Definitely.
Right?
It's just different art.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing too. Before, when a lot of my fellow combat athletes starting off, when I started as a white belt jiu-jitsu, strength conditioning, hitting the weights was anti. Weights, why are you hitting the weights? Why are you going to the gym? Well, you don't need to do that, you know. And I get that, you know. And for certain people that don't know what they're doing, yeah, it can impact that differently. But look how jiu-jitsu started. You know, who represented jiu-jitsu back in the days?
Yeah, the Hoist Gracie.
Yeah.
Frail,
skinny.
Yeah.
I mean, who won the UFC one? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows the Gracie one. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a skinny guy with the gi beating what's his name? UFC one. I forgot, Ken Shamrock. Was it Shamrock? From one of the guys. And he submitted him in the gi.
Yeah, it comes out, you know, wrestler, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Big guy.
Switched it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That just shows it right there. He was more of wrestling type, which was what he was more of a Greco wrestler, right? Wrestling type, wrestling background, which looked big. So, but now look at the grapplers today.
Right.
They're fit. They're
Yeah.
having a like 80cc grapplers. You know what I'm saying? They're all either some of them are steroids. I get it, but they're hitting the weights now. They understand how that's more important, especially in this market in America, because the bodies are built different. So some of these that transition from where wrestling, right? These
Yeah.
wrestling natural big, strong, hefty guys. Once they transition and learn jiu-jitsu, that's a combination. That's why they're killers in 80cc. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's that background. Now they're fit. Now they're training. They're hitting it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're incorporating that.
Let's
you
talk
know?
about Sub Hunter.
Yeah.
When is that, and who are you going against? You know anything about him?
I don't know much about him. His name's Alberto. I know that. I have to look. I forgot his school he's out of. I didn't get to research much about him. First of all, I respect it. I'm fighting for Submission Hunter Pro with Eric Garcia, number 100. It's been a while since I've been on their stage, and I love being on their stage. I had the opportunity to also fight amateur MMA with them too. Gave me the opportunity. But Submission Hunter Pros, I love it because the Vietnamese Viper comes out. So it's November 16th. So it's the Escapade, and we're really excited about that. And my game plan is obviously I train at Active Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm also currently training with 4 Ounce Fight Club too, with BJJ over there, and some of the top level guys I have there to get me back in that fight mentality, that submission mentality. You know what I'm saying? Also to survive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the next level. You want to be around that fighter mindset too.
For sure.
It helps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and I always bring a high energy. I always go for the sub for my submission hunters. I'm always going for action, you know what I'm saying, best as possible. So I always put some live shows on, and I like that against my opponent. And yeah, I'm just excited to get back on the stage, and I have a lot of supporters coming out. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So November 16th.
So whenever MMA guys are in grappling matches or even in the training room, like a jiu-jitsu class, you can see the different mentality that they bring. There's a different form of pressure. They're just built different, first of all. And for them, it's like, it's not easy to grapple, but it's like, it's better than getting punched in the head, in the face or knee and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I could see, but it's a total different mindset. And, Carlos Enrique, the UFC BJJ lightweight champion, he just went and defended his title, right? And so he's going to be debuting for Fury as well, which is awesome. But you can see the way he approached that fight was more, I'm pushing him up against the fence.
Right.
This guy's trying to play guard. I'm forcing his head. You can't invert over here by the wall. He approached it almost like an MMA fighter would, because that's what, he trains jiu-jitsu all the time, but that's what he's been really focusing on to make that MMA debut. And so that's a different, that's fun. And that's fun to watch, right?
And he's going to great transition. You know what I'm saying? Ideally, what I've been taught and coached or mentored from being around great people in the MMA community that have way more years of experience than me. You know what I'm saying? Some say you start on the ground. The best way is start on the ground up. So any new young combat athletes or anybody pursuing MMA, my best advice from my experience and what I've learned and seen around, if you want to start on the ground first, like grappling art first, whether it's wrestling or BJJ, start with that foundation, and then transition over to striking. You can do boxing. You want to do boxing or Muay Thai, whatever your striking is. Even Taekwondo. Getting those kicks ready. That's an area of my combat athlete where took years for me to get my kicks right. I've been so tight doing 4 plates of squats or 3 plates of squats my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that built my muscle, my power, my foundation, my glutes, my legs, my hands. That's what built my foundation for me to strike as a combat athlete when I'm going for takedowns. It's I got strong legs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it transitioned to a combination of both. So it's, start with the ground, build up, and then combine both, and then find a good MMA gym. Get out there and compete in jiu-jitsu grappling first. You know what I'm saying? Then if you feel confident, transition over to MMA, and you have Eric Garcia to help you every step of the way.
Talk to me about the Vietnamese Viper. You said, hey, it's the stage. That's where he's allowed to come out. What is that? What's that mean?
It's just like that animal spirit, you know what I'm saying? And I always want to represent my faith and my culture and my country because, my dad did that. So that's what I got from my dad a lot. He's really represented the South Vietnam, the Vietnamese community, because we need a voice to be spoken. And just me being Asian American, especially in Houston area, Mike Trinh was one of my first, guys that I looked up to. He did, he's Vietnamese, you know what I'm saying? And he did it in his late 30s, early 40s, he's a killer. He paved the path. He represented the Vietnam flag. And I was like, man, I want to be like that too, And he's even Kung Lee, You know, he was the original guy too back in the days, Vietnamese, UFC fighter I always looked up to. And yeah, so and my spirit animal, and it was like a viper, you know, it just came together. So, you know, Vietnamese viper sounds pretty good.
It does, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's me, and this is my style. I mean, I'm a viper. I strike. You know what I'm saying? I go in. I'm gonna submit you. I'm gonna grapple you. I'm gonna hold you down and go for the finish. You know what I'm saying? So that animal spirit for my combat athlete mentality, you know, I like that. Keep me calm, posed, and then when I'm ready to strike, I strike.
Yeah. You know, a Mike, great entrepreneur, a combat athlete as well, still
Yes.
training all the time. You
Yes.
know, even he competes too. I mean, it's a couple years ago we had done a feature on him.
Oh,
But, you know,
awesome.
you talked about your dad, you know, being an entrepreneur as well. Where did you get that desire and the push, I guess, to be an entrepreneur?
Man, thank you. Originally, yeah, I didn't realize it then, but my dad was the original entrepreneur, right? He started Vietnamese restaurant wasn't it Bel Air? No, it was Richmond area. Yeah, one in downtown too. When this is back before when Chinatown was original Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? So I went through the whole process of experiencing. My work ethic came from my dad. Like I was 14, 15 years old. After high school, my dad would pick us up so I can work at the restaurant. You know, clean dishes and delivery and help out with the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So, and then growing up in the streets, you know, I hustled. So I had that mentality because I didn't grow up with much. I literally, like real talk, like I didn't, I had 5 kids living in an apartment, having a business. Like I don't see how my dad survived that. Looking back, I don't know, man, my dad did it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like raising a family and, you know, having a business and working these hours and, you know, and we always ate good, things like that. So I saw that humility, that really not having much fire because I always wanted more. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing very well in the restaurant industry, so I developed myself. That was my foundation. I went to school, college. It didn't work out for me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to focus on business because I was on probation. So I couldn't really, I had to work. I had to hustle. So I just focused on the restaurant industry and I loved it. I was doing really good, busser, host, and then I did shucker, kitchen, then waiter, and then assistant trainer, then trainer at Olive Garden. And then after that, opened up a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant in Cyprus. And then that developed my service management skills, opening a restaurant. After that, I opened up another restaurant in Minute Maid Park. This is when Nine Amigos, back when the Astros baseball field, center field, I had experience opening that. And during that time frame, I got saved. And then after that, I transitioned and I had no job, nothing. I was literally like nothing. God opened up a door for me. I submitted my information to a recruiter, got me an interview with the corporate job with Cafe Express. And from there, I got a corporate experience. So I finally got like a corporate job, corporate benefits. Yeah. And then through that transition, I was finding my faith in working out bodybuilding. That's it. That's all I did. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, my dad died from stage 4 liver cancer. And I had an opportunity to be on VFit Living, which is our Vietnamese health and fitness TV show. That was my first experience on media, TV. My friend Mai, it was on the Vietnamese network in Houston. And yeah, it was called VFit Living. And after that, I transitioned from there to want to become an entrepreneur. You know, I wanted to help out people. There's something more bigger. I wanted to transition. I saw a glass ceiling in my corporate job at the time, and I was like, man, I want to help people. My dad died from liver cancer. What if I could have helped my community? What if I can be a light and help people get healthy? You know, I was just focusing on the Vietnamese community at first. You know what I'm saying? And I got on TV, did a fitness show, VFit Living, and I said, you know what? I want to become an actor. I want to become a movie star now. It just opened up, and God just gave me that vision, and I just took action, took a leap of faith. And I went through the experience and struggle as an entrepreneur, and I got into network marketing. That gave me the backbone of learning how to be an entrepreneur. And went through the struggles, and years later, we're here.
Yeah, you know, just learning along the way, you know, opening the different restaurants, seeing how this corporate does it, this does it.
Exactly.
I mean, that has to help too, right?
Yeah, it's like self-education. Like I was learning on someone else's time.
Yeah.
You know, and also personal growth and development a lot. Over behind a lot of faith. You know, a lot of support from family, certain family members, a lot of faith, like praying every day. And I was heavy in church. I still am. You know, so I was going to visit my pastor and receiving prophecy and prayers and just building my character too, building my relationship with God better. Of course, you still made mistakes. Of course, I, hung out here and there and slipped here and there, but God was always my steering point, and that because Temple Construction, He gave that to me. So yeah, I experienced all that. My first opportunity was I did a boot camp in the parking lot at Uptown Park because I was managing Cafe Express in Uptown Park at that time.
Yeah.
And then they gave me an opportunity to do like a boot camp.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was like just experiencing, what I'm saying? Just getting a lot of no's.
For sure, yeah. I got a question about Cafe Express. What would you eat there?
Man, the privilege, that's another blessing. Being a manager, I was able to eat once a day.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
That helped out a lot. I was always eating the chicken deli salads. I used to eat the pasta mores with chicken. I love the burgers there. So yeah, that time when I was training, and I set, that's another thing, I set my discipline too. I would go work out, go to the gym, 1 hour and a half, go home, get ready for work, shower, boom, go to work. Or if I worked early morning, get there at 5, get off at 3 or 4, drive home, go straight to the gym at 5 o'clock. I just create that systematic system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my wife, there used to be a Cafe Express over here on Bay Area Boulevard.
Yeah.
This was years ago.
Yeah.
Years. I mean, this may be 15, 20 years ago or something like that.
Wow.
It hasn't been there for a bit. But she would always want to go there. And we weren't married at the time, but she'd always want to go. And I'm like, I don't know what to get. I was like, I don't want to eat salad. Like, that was always me at the time. Now, hey, I like salads. I like salads and stuff. But just, at that point, I just remember that. I'm like, maybe I'm ordering the wrong thing. That's what I always think of. So like,
There's a lot of good, the grilled chicken pesto. I mean, I still love it. I mean,
I
was thinking about it the other day. I was reminiscing about it. So,
that's good stuff. Hey, I want to talk about the Texans because I have seen on social media.
Thank you.
You put out some stuff about the Texans and you get to work with them. What is that like and what do you get to do?
It was definitely a dream come true because as a kid, one of my first passions was football. Before I got into combat sports, it was football. So I used to go out the streets, play football. That was my first sport, middle school, high school, right? So that's where I developed my athleticism and used my energy as a young, chunky Asian kid. You know what I'm saying? So now today, it happened post-COVID because during COVID, they had to cut back some entertainment positions, the flag runners. That's what they did. They're called flag runner positions, but they work for the entertainment crew. My supervisor is Toro, the mascot. What's up, Toro? Andrew Johnson, great man too. So after the years, like 3 years ago, whenever they were able to open up more people to be on the fields, a good friend of mine, Walter, reached out to me and said, hey, they're hiring for flag runners. You want to audition? I thought about it because this is, remember, Texans were years of and we were like barely winning 2 games. I was getting tickets to the game because people were giving away. But I was a hardcore still. I still love the Texans. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? It'd be a good opportunity. Let me give it a shot. It was only on Sundays. Blah blah blah. I can do it. I just have to be disciplined. That'd be cool. Just check it out. So I went to audition. Went to the bubble and audition, and I got the opportunity.
Yeah.
So I was the same rookie year when C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell started too, and Will Anderson. So it was a rookie season, and that was that first year. And yeah, we did some pre-games, and now I was working some games out there. Had the blessing to be around some amazing entertainers and artists and all the athletes, and being on the field with the players, the energy, and running 120 yards every time the Texans score a touchdown. A major blessing.
I was saying you got to be in shape.
Yeah, that's why I had
100% have to be in shape to be able to do that, to run. And I'm sure it's not like light, but even like if it's the wind or the breeze or whatever, those things will go. But that's
yes, bro.
You got to be in good
shape. Be ready. And also, we have the privilege of running out of the bullhead at the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, that first tonal, or first of all, like this is the pregame. This is this is how the game starts. There's already a lot of pressure. You got how many thousands of people in the stands, right? And then you have the players right behind you. You got these 6 foot beasts.
Outrun these guys, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're running out of that bullhorn blows out that smoke. And right when Toro runs out of that bullhorn, and the cheerleaders are right in front of them, right there, and then they're setting up. And then once that doors open again for us, we rush through the flags.
Yes.
So that's the thing. It can get nervous, and then once you're out, boom, you're running, and there's a technique behind it. There's a technique because you're, like you said, the force is pushing you back. Some of the flagpoles are a little bit heavy, and then you're running 50, 60 yards, and you come around, you got the crowd going crazy. The players are right behind you, and you position yourself on the 20-yard line, and you start waving at figure 8. And yes, if you're not fit, you're going to get tired.
Yeah.
Our forearms are throbbing afterwards.
How does that, I guess the energy, potential nerves compare to, an MMA fight or even grappling? Is it in the same ballpark?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Different.
That's a great question, guys. I was actually talking to myself earlier about something like this. Like calming the nerves. And then I think about someone like Josh Van that goes out there, or even just locally. Jacob Silva that goes out there a lot. Man, controlling your nerves is an art. It's a mental art. Comparing all three, yes, the jiu-jitsu competition, your grappling events, the pro level. I built myself up there. You did the NAGA first, you did IBJJF, I traveled to Vegas, did the Masters, did all the high level competitions. But when you get on stage for like Submission Hunter, it's different. It got me prepared to do MMA, to make my debut, get the couple fights that experience I got, because it is nerve wracking. So that's a high level, and then you want to perform because you have family and friends. I've been at the highest of highs, I've been at the lowest of lows, and doing combat sports. So calming that nerves. But once you're out there, that's why reps is so important as a combat athlete. Like reps. Like if you really put in the reps in your training camp, when you're out there, it helps out a lot. Because once you're there, you're zoned in, you're present. Everything just kind of, you're just focused on the present situation, trying to listen to your coaches and the reaction of the fans. Because you're doing something good, you're going to hear good reaction.
Yeah.
So then transition to football. Yes, starting off, you get kind of nervous, but like in that tonal right there, you just got to lock in, stay focused, and it's really similar. But once you're out, you smile, hit the lights. You don't want to do anything wrong. You definitely want to trip and fall, hit that position, and then it's just natural.
Yeah.
The more you do, you just kind of get used to it.
The reps, yeah. I think of someone like Josh Van, going from an organization like Fury, which I think they do a great job on their production, the walkout, the music, and all those different things, beautiful venues, to Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? Like the difference. But he always looks like, blessed. Like it is on there. He's like, dude, smiling, just waving, representing his country and all that stuff. And that's, to me, that's super impressive, because you can't tell that I'm sure he deals with his nerves and stuff the same way, but I think he just lives that life like, man, I am blessed.
Amen.
Blessed to be here and get to do this and go and knock somebody out real quick and get a bonus.
That's the goal. And happy birthday, Joshua Van.
Oh, happy birthday, Josh.
Yeah.
Happy
His birthday. Yeah. He's a young man. He's only turning 24. His maturity has grown. I've worked with him since at least going on 4 or 5 years, maybe right now. He came from Sons of Silverback, so I want to thank the coaches there, Scotty and Tony at the time, that transitioned him over with TC, and we were his first strength conditioning coach, and his as far when he became pro. He was with another coach prior to that, and we've been with him since. And even I want to thank Eric Garcia. He recognized it. He said, "Hey, bro, ever since Josh Van joined TC, his physique is different. His explosive, his strength, he's changed. He's upgraded, and he knows it. We know it. And that's why he's stayed committed. He was at that proper age range as a young man to develop himself in that, his physique, his tempo. Because with the level of testosterone he has going there and the training, it's that right time, and it shows. He stayed committed, always there to support him. He supports us, and it's an honor to see him. And actually, another fun fact, I debuted my amateur fight when he was getting his amateur flyweight championship.
Yeah. What year was that?
2001 maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
When he fought Tonio.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he won his flyweight belt with Sons of Silverback, and after that he went to pro. So we were on the same card. Yeah, it was crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, and
awesome.
At that time I didn't think of anything of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just keep training, man. Keep building. That's my philosophy in life. Just keep building, bro. Like, just have a purpose behind it, your why. But no matter what, just keep building. Keep building your mindset. The health side of this lifestyle is anti-aging. It prevents cancer, helps with depression. It helps a lot of benefits in every other part of your life. And I believe that's why I'm very happy with my community. Like, they give me a purpose to wake up and make sure I take care of them, make sure I take care of myself, leading by example, living the life, you know what I'm saying? And, you don't have to deteriorate in your 30s and 40s. Life can begin for you for a lot of people too. If you're healthy, if you have skeletal muscle, if you have low body fat percentage, if you're training, you know what I'm saying? If you're, spiritually taking care of yourself, connecting with God, the creator, because that's what happens. You release these happy chemicals, this energy from your gut health goes up to your brain. You know what I'm saying? That connection with God, you hear the voice, you're happy, you're attracting good energy, you're the light. Once you become the light of the world within yourself, it attracts that beam, that frequency, that connection, the vibrations just comes natural. Great things starts coming to you, start meeting great people, opportunity comes out, represent each other, support each other, and just keep building from there. You know what I'm saying? Being the light of the world, that's what God said. Jesus Christ said, be the light of the world, be the light on top of the mountain, top of the hill.
Yeah, that's what I pray with my kids too. Is just like they'll be able to see something's different, and that is that light. Whether it's just like, man, I don't know what it is. I like that person. They got good energy or whatever it is. But yeah, I think it starts with confidence with yourself.
Yeah.
And you got to help create that. Working out, feeling good, moving different. You wake up and say it's a beautiful day. And it is.
Be grateful
I'm
for
blessed to be here.
Yeah.
Even whenever there's something bad, I'm still blessed.
Exactly.
Right.
And for you to have children, man, I'm proud of you for living by example. And I mean, as a man, I kind of give that tough love talk to my men, especially when they're dads. I have great testimonies from some dads that, 30, 40 pounds overweight, have the career business going, have the family and kids, but they're really depressed, unhappy. You know what I'm saying? It literally saved some of these men's lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can get emotional talking about it because that's the purpose I wanted, more than just building a big bicep or, whatnot. But hey, how about, having these dads feeling healthy and happy so they can lead their family? You know what I'm saying? Making it a part of their life. You know what I'm saying? To be a protector, to be healthy man, and to lead by example so they can be there for their kids and their kids' kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you remind everybody one more time, Temple Construction, who's it for? How can they find that information and get signed up and get going?
Well, we're all spirits. We live in the body, which is our temple, created for construction, not destruction. So let's build a temple for your spirit. We're located on I-10 in Memorial area towards Katy, right at Spring Branch, Memorial City Mall, Beltway 8. And if you're interested and you want to get a free TC course workout, hit me up where I have a website, www.constructmytemple.com, or hit us up on Facebook page or Instagram as well. I'm sure you'll connect my links and just reach out to me. Make sure I give you a good, thorough breakdown of your goals and your challenges and prescribe you how we can achieve those goals in your journey. I have amazing coaches, Coach Solomon, Coach Melanie with a great testimonial. We also have Coach Miguel, all my past coaches that I've had a blessing to work with. I still appreciate y'all. I wouldn't be here without them. Past members that have been with me, my current ones, my future ones. I appreciate it because I learn from everybody. Mm-hmm. So if I'm able to just plant my light, my message, my seed, just a little bit in someone's life, even if it's just a season or a long-term season, I really did my job, you know what I'm saying? So that time when I'm here, I found my purpose in life, and I just want to keep sharing that. And if I can help you, great. If not, all good. Refer a friend or come drop in. If you live too far, just drop in. I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, what about Sub Hunter 100? What can they expect from you? And I guess overall from the event, why should they watch?
Well, that's a great event. So any grappling, any jiu-jitsu practitioners or just fans, it's a great event. Eric Garcia does a great job with that event. Gives us the opportunity to show our hard work that all these competitors do. And that stage is amazing. What you're going to expect in a Vietnamese Viper is high energy, explosiveness. I'm going to be very technical with my takedown. And I'm going to go down, take him down from there, take the back and finish it with the submission. And I'm going to give my opponent a run for his life. And I'm going to finish off with a submission.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank for everybody. I want to thank all my coaches from TC, Active Jiu-Jitsu. Also be able, 4 Ounce Fight Club, opening doors for me to come train with them there as well. Max with Hardstyle, giving these opportunities. All the other athletes that inspired this opportunity for me. If I have a message for anybody, have faith in yourself. Take care of your body, your temple. Your temple is your mind, your heart, and your body. And I believe it's an anti-aging lifestyle for you. Lead it for yourself. If you're going through depression, anxiety, if you're lonely, if you need a community support, that's what we're about. Take care of your body, your temple. Find God, find your faith. And whatever that goal, that vision you have for your life, it's possible. Just don't give up. Don't give up. Keep pressing. Keep building your body. Keep building your mind. Keep building your discipline. And I promise you, God will open up a door for your dreams.
Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
This is Gardner, Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. Y'all be blessed.